The young and the restless spoilers shock ChatGPT DNOI, the tension builds, Kyle, Claire, and the betrayal of trust. Genoa City is about to witness a tumultuous chapter in the lives of its beloved characters, particularly when it comes to Kyle and Claire. The once strong bond between them is about to face the most challenging test yet. And at the center of this potential heartbreak, two women stand as possible catalysts for the unraveling of Kyle and Claire's love story, Audra and Summer. While both could cause friction between the couple, it seems that Summer may play the more pivotal role in the coming drama. Kyle has been facing increasing pressure in both his personal and professional life. His business struggles have only intensified the uncertainty surrounding his relationship with Claire, and his growing dissatisfaction with the opposition to their love only adds fuel to the fire. It's clear that Kyle is beginning to question why their relationship faces so much resistance, especially from his own family. There's something that feels unfair about it all, and Kyle's frustration has been building for some time. Enter Summer. The history between Summer and Kyle has always been complicated, full of lingering tension, and it seems that unresolved feelings might start to resurface. They've been through a lot together, and while they may not be in a romantic relationship anymore, their past still holds a certain weight. Their recent meeting at the bar is more than just a chance encounter, it's a moment of vulnerability. Both Kyle and Summer find themselves at a crossroads, with their emotions running high. As they begin to discuss their frustrations about their personal lives, Kyle's business difficulties and Summer's own troubles with her family, the conversation slowly shifts. The two find comfort in each other's company, and the lines between friendship and something more begin to blur. The conversation takes a darker turn as Summer and Kyle reflect on their past and the unresolved tension between them. It doesn't take long before the two of them end up at Summer's place, alone. Kyle, seeking a distraction from his mounting frustrations, finds himself at Summer's house. What starts as a simple visit to check in on Harrison, her son, quickly spirals into something neither of them can control. The situation escalates as they share more intimate moments, ultimately leading them to the bedroom. The chemistry between them is undeniable, but this encounter is one of betrayal, not just to Claire, but to themselves. Meanwhile, Claire is growing increasingly anxious. She hasn't heard from Kyle for hours, and her concern for him grows with every passing minute. Her mind races with worry, and she can't shake the feeling that something is off. She tries calling him again and again, but there's no response. Feeling desperate and unable to calm her anxiety, she decides to go to Summer's house to find him. When Claire arrives, she notices Kyle's shoes at the door, and a sense of dread washes over her. She knows something is wrong. She cautiously steps inside, her heart pounding, and she can't believe what she's about to discover. As she walks toward the bedroom, she hears voices, muffled, but unmistakably Kyle and Summer. Her pulse quickens as she opens the door, and the sight before her is too much to bear. Kyle and Summer, tangled in each other's arms, an intimate moment she never expected to witness. The betrayal is undeniable. Claire stands frozen, heartbroken and furious as she watches the man she loves in the arms of another woman, a woman who is supposed to be a part of her past, not her present. The room is charged with the weight of the moment, the silence deafening as Claire's eyes meet Kyle's. Her anger bubbles over, and in that moment, there is no turning back. She bursts into the room, her voice trembling with fury. "How could you?" she demands, her voice thick with emotion. "After everything we've been through, this is how you repay me?" Kyle, caught in the act, stumbles to respond, his face filled with guilt and shame. "Claire, but the words don't come. There's nothing he can say to justify the betrayal, nothing that can erase the hurt in Claire's eyes. Summer, feeling the tension in the air, is silent, knowing full well the damage that has been done. She had been caught up in the moment, but now, she too is confronted with the reality of the situation. Claire's world feels like it's collapsing around her. She never imagined that Kyle, the man she thought she could trust, would betray her like this. The confusion, the hurt, the rage. It all consumes her. I never thought you'd be capable of this, she whispers, her voice breaking. I thought you loved me. Kyle stands there, paralyzed by the weight of his actions. He knows there's nothing he can say that will undo the damage he's caused. He never intended for things to escalate this way, but in that moment, it doesn't matter. The betrayal is clear, and the trust they built together has been shattered. As Claire turns to leave, tears streaming down her face, her mind races with a million thoughts, pain, anger, confusion. She can't understand why Kyle did this, why he chose to betray her in such a way. The future she envisioned with him is now in ruins, and she's left with nothing but heartbreak and the bitter sting of his actions. This is a turning point for Kyle and Claire. Their relationship, once built on trust and love, has been irrevocably damaged. The emotional fallout from this betrayal will echo through both of their lives, and no matter how hard Kyle tries to explain himself, the damage has been done. For Summer, this is a moment of reflection. She may have acted impulsively, but she knows deep down that the consequences of her actions will reverberate long after the night is over. Was it worth it? What will it cost her? And, most importantly, what will this do to her friendship with Chelsea and her place in Kyle's life? The fallout from this dramatic moment is just beginning, and for Claire, Kyle, and Summer, it's unclear where the road will lead. Will they be able to rebuild what's been broken, or will this be the moment that defines the rest of their lives? Only time will tell, but for now, the damage is done, and the relationships between them will never be the same. Victor Newman's plans have always been centered around control, power, and ensuring that everything falls in line with his vision. No matter the cost to those around him. His obsession with keeping his family and business empire intact has led him to manipulate situations in ways that few people can fathom. In this instance, the target of his manipulation is Claire and Kyle's relationship, and he's enlisted Audra to help bring about the split as soon as possible. Victor sees the relationship between Claire and Kyle as a threat. Whether it's due to their independent wills, the influence of the Abbott family, or simply because Kyle is too connected to the very family Victor sees as a competitor in business. Having already manipulated countless situations to benefit his own interests, Victor has no problem in using Audra to get Claire and Kyle to part ways, as he sees it as a necessary step in solidifying his control over the family and their business dealings. Audra, aware of Victor's expectations, knows that her role is crucial. She has already been working on maneuvering events to separate the couple, knowing that the sooner Claire and Kyle break up, the sooner she can gain Victor's approval and the rewards that come with it. However, Victor's patience is not infinite. If Audra doesn't execute her part of the plan swiftly and efficiently, there are no guarantees about the consequences she may face. Victor is notorious for holding grudges, and if he feels that his instructions are not being followed to the letter, he will not hesitate to undermine his own allies, including Audra. Victor, as always, is determined to get what he wants, and he doesn't care who he has to manipulate to achieve it. His frustration will only grow as he watches the delays unfold. The more Kyle and Claire's relationship lingers, the more Victor will become agitated. He wants this breakup, and he wants it now. His patience has never been his strongest virtue, and as time ticks on, he becomes more impatient. His need to see the relationship end is tied not just to his own vendetta but to his belief that it will restore order and strengthen his control over the Newman empire. Lauren's growing concern, a secret meeting with Jack Abbott. Meanwhile, Lauren Fenmore Baldwin, always astute and perceptive, has noticed a shift in the dynamics surrounding her family. While she has been dealing with her own challenges, her husband, Michael Baldwin, has become increasingly distant and more involved with Victor Newman's affairs. What worries Lauren, however, is Michael's decision to meet with Jack Abbott without informing her, especially in the middle of a volatile situation like this. Lauren has always prided herself on keeping the family and business in balance, but Michael's decision to engage with Jack behind Victor's back is a cause for concern. She understands that the rivalry between Victor and Jack is personal, but she also knows how dangerous it is to go against Victor when it comes to matters of the family business. Jack Abbott, despite his charm and strategic thinking, has long been an adversary in Victor's eyes, and anything that could give Jack an edge over Victor will not be tolerated. When Lauren finds out that Michael met with Jack without Victor's approval, her worry escalates. She fears the consequences of this meeting, knowing that Victor is not someone who takes betrayal lightly, especially from family members. The fallout from this secretive meeting could lead to serious repercussions for both Michael and Jack, but also for Lauren herself. She's concerned not only for her husband's safety but for the stability of their family's position within the Newman empire. Lauren's frustration grows as she realizes that Michael's actions could jeopardize everything they've worked for. As much as she understands his desire to maintain his professional integrity and make his own decisions, she knows that in the world they inhabit, everything is interconnected. Any mistake, any misstep, could have a ripple effect on their family's future. If Michael's meeting with Jack results in a scandal or an opportunity for Jack to take advantage of the situation, Victor will see it as an act of betrayal, and Lauren will bear the brunt of that anger too. Lauren's disappointment with Michael's secrecy will only add to the already volatile situation. She had hoped that Michael would be more careful, especially given their family's already delicate standing with Victor. The tension between Victor and the Abbott family has reached new heights, and Lauren fears that Michael's actions could fuel the fire. As Victor pushes forward with his plans for Kyle and Claire, Lauren realizes that the stakes are higher than ever, and her family might be caught in the crossfire. The fallout. Victor's reign and the fragility of family alliances as these events unfold. It's clear that Victor is not only manipulating the lives of those around him but also creating an atmosphere of tension and mistrust within his own family. Whether through his influence on Audra to separate Kyle and Claire, or his dealings with Michael and Jack, Victor's hold on those around him is being tested. Audra may believe that she is following Victor's orders, but she, too, is walking a fine line. If she fails to get the desired outcome, the consequences could be dire. She is playing a dangerous game, and while the rewards of success might be tempting, the price of failure is high. The more she gets involved with Victor's schemes, the more she risks losing her own sense of agency and becoming another pawn in his grand plan. For Chelsea, Adam, Sally, and even the Abbotts, the power dynamics are shifting, and the true cost of these manipulations is yet to be fully realized. With Victor tightening his grip on his family and business, the possibility of new alliances and betrayals looms on the horizon. How far will Victor go to achieve his goals? And will the Newman family remain united, or will Victor's machinations lead to an even deeper fracture? As tensions rise, so too will the stakes for everyone involved. Will Victor's strategic moves lead to the consolidation of his power, or will they backfire, leaving him isolated from those he needs most? And with relationships like Chelsea and Adam, Kyle and Claire, and even Billy and Sally at risk, how will these dynamics unfold as each character is forced to confront the choices they've made in the face of Victor's unyielding control? Only time will tell how these intricate stories will play out, but one thing is certain, nothing in Genoa City is ever as simple as it seems. The stakes at Marquetti have never been higher, and Summer Newman is standing at a crossroads that could reshape both her career and her relationships with the two women she holds dear, Chelsea Lawson and Sally Spectra. With both of them receiving enticing offers for new opportunities, Chelsea being courted by Adam for a role at Newman Media, and Sally possibly considering a move to Abbott Communications, Summer is faced with the terrifying possibility of losing both key members of her team. If Summer hears alarming news about Chelsea and Sally's career moves in an upcoming episode of The Young and the Restless, she may feel a deep sense of panic. Losing both women at the same time could be a disaster for her business at Marquetti. Chelsea and Sally have been integral to the company's success, and the thought of them both leaving could threaten the stability and future of the brand she's worked so hard to build. A delicate promise, loyalty versus ambition. Despite the mounting pressure, both Chelsea and Sally are likely to make promises to Summer to ease her fears. Chelsea may reassure Summer that she won't leave Marquetti if Sally decides to move on to Abbott Communications. She knows how much her departure would hurt Summer, and while the offer from Adam at Newman Media is tempting, she doesn't want to jeopardize the business they've all worked on together. But the reality is that Chelsea's professional aspirations and her feelings for Adam may become increasingly difficult to ignore, especially if the COO role at Newman Media becomes more alluring. Similarly, Sally may promise to stay if Chelsea moves forward with the offer from Newman Media. Sally and Chelsea have a professional bond that runs deep, and Sally's own career ambitions are undeniable. Still, the idea of working together at such a high level could be more than just a professional decision. It could also bring Sally closer to Adam, reigniting the tension between her and Chelsea. The promises to stay are both heartfelt and strategic, but the reality is that the stakes for each woman are growing, and loyalty might be tested more than ever. Summer's heart versus business reality. Summer is caught in a difficult position. As the head of Marquetti, she's under pressure to keep the company running smoothly, but she's also a friend to both Chelsea and Sally. She doesn't want to stand in the way of their career growth, especially since both women are being offered opportunities that could change their lives. But losing both of them, especially at the same time, would be catastrophic for the business. The looming uncertainty about what the future holds for Marquetti creates a deep sense of conflict for Summer, who must balance her loyalty to her friends with her responsibility to the company. In the midst of this, Summer is dealing with the emotional weight of her personal relationships as well. Her professional concerns are deeply intertwined with her personal ones, and she finds herself struggling to maintain the right balance. She knows she can't hold Sally and Chelsea back from what could be incredible opportunities, but at the same time, she is faced with the very real possibility of the business she's worked to build crumbling without them. Could Phyllis Summers be the answer? With Summer feeling increasingly overwhelmed by the looming departures of Chelsea and Sally, a new question arises. Could Phyllis Summers, recently fired from Abbott Communications, be the solution to Summer's problems? Phyllis, despite her recent fall from grace, still possesses the business acumen and drive that could be invaluable to Marquetti. Her experience in high-stakes environments, coupled with her determination to prove herself, could make her a strong candidate to step in and fill the void left by Chelsea and Sally. While Phyllis's reputation may be tainted by her recent firing and the scandals surrounding her, her experience and knowledge of the fashion industry could provide the stability and expertise that Summer desperately needs. Phyllis could bring a fresh perspective to Marquetti, and while it may seem like an unconventional choice, Summer might find that Phyllis is exactly the kind of leader she needs to help keep the company afloat. However, bringing Phyllis into the fold could also be a risky move. Her volatile nature and past mistakes might complicate matters, especially if she tries to assert too much control over the direction of the company. Summer might worry about the potential fallout from this decision, especially if Phyllis's re-entry into the business world causes friction with the other employees or if Phyllis's own personal dramas spill over into Marquetti's operations. The road ahead. The future of Marquetti and Summer's choices. Summer's world is teetering on the edge of uncertainty. As Chelsea and Sally prepare to make their respective decisions about their futures, Summer must decide what path she's willing to take to secure the future of Marquetti. Should she allow them to pursue their dreams, even if it means the company will be left scrambling to find replacements? Or should she take a more drastic step, bringing in Phyllis as a solution, despite the risks involved? The next few weeks will likely see tensions rise as Summer grapples with these complex issues. The fate of Marquetti, and potentially her relationships with Chelsea and Sally, rests on her decisions. No matter what, the choices she makes will have lasting consequences for both her personal and professional life. Whether she keeps her friends close, or makes the tough call to move forward with a new direction for the company, Summer's role as the leader of Marquetti has never been more critical. For now, Summer must navigate the tricky waters of loyalty, ambition, and business, all while trying to keep her emotions in check. The future of Marquetti, and the dynamics between her and the women she cares about, are uncertain. But one thing is clear: Summer's decisions will define the next chapter for all of them.